PackGeek. Hey guys, what's up? Jeff from PackGeek here. I am excited to meet this guy. He's the host of a podcast called Lemme Get That Podagraph. Drew Herndon, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
So how has the National been treating you so far?
It's crazy. It's a crazy time. It's fun though. I love it. I'm big on social media, just like you are.
Of course.
It's nice to, finally get to meet, like we finally got to meet, and I think I've met a couple hundred people that it seems like I talk to all the time. So I love it.
It is fun seeing those faces you've only seen in like a profile picture.
I know them as a little circle.
Exactly.
And an outline of their dog.
I know that face.
Yep.
So, dude, I have listened to the last couple episodes of the show and really enjoyed it. There's very much like a punk rock vibe, not just in the music, but just in the show. It seems like that comes from some sort of punk rock roots. So what is the tie-in there, and kind of what was the inspiration for the show?
Well, the punk rock roots, you're dead on. I'm a musician for a long time.
Very cool.
A lot of punk bands down in South Florida. It's still what I listen to, so die hard into that. But the show, I have a journalism background.
Okay.
Did a lot of writing, was in a lot of broadcast stuff, but behind the scenes stuff. Never really did anything besides camera work, editing, but really wanted to step out from just writing and get into some. I was seeing podcasts start to take off. There weren't too many in the hobby. You had Fat Packs, you had a couple of other ones, but there wasn't that much there. And found someone else that wanted to talk to it with me, and just decided to give it a shot.
So shout out to Fat Packs. We're actually in the Beckett Media booth right now. So if you don't recognize this, we're in the home of Eric Norton right now. Okay, so talk to me about content creation, because you have a journalism background, you know how to shoot, you know how to edit. So what is some words of advice on content creation that we could give to the upcoming content creators out there?
I think the best thing nowadays is to just don't be afraid. Like, say what you want to do. Like, there were times when I started, it took me a long time to figure out, you can say this, you can write this, you can do it. Like, have confidence, have some faith, and just write those opinions, And there's a tactful way to do it, yes.
You can have a voice.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's what's cool about it now. You're really seeing that in the last couple of years, especially in the hobby. There's a lot of great blogs. Wax Pack Heroes here. Awesome. I think he was on with you guys on the main stage.
Yeah, we met Mike. He's great.
Excellent stuff. There's a lot of people out there just doing good stuff. But besides just that, I would say just stay with it. It can feel like, you may have to do a little bit of digging sometimes. You may have to look for a story, but I promise you, in this hobby, you will find one. There's a lot to talk about, and I think people like, reading. If it's reading it, listening to it, whatever it is, I think it's that time where content really, at least online content from people like us, it can shine.
Well, I'm happy that you're coming from a very encouraging standpoint, because I also try to do that myself. And people ask me, well, do you want a bunch of people out there being your competition? And I always think that's ridiculous. There's so much room for everybody's voice out there. Everybody has a voice. Like, whether you know it or not, get it out there. If you want to do a show, there's nothing stopping you right now.
No.
That is the beauty of the time we're in right now, is that there is no barrier of entry to you and I starting up a brand new YouTube show this afternoon about whatever the heck we want to talk about.
Whatever.
And by this evening, we could have a channel started and have a show that people can watch on their smart TVs. It is ridiculous if you really think about it.
It is.
You and I could upload something in the next couple minutes that people can watch on their TV in their living room tonight.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing. It's a fun time.
It is.
It's very interesting.
It's fun.
You were talking about the competition aspect. I know in some other industries I've worked in doing content creation, it is pretty competitive. And it's competitive here, but I've never met a more supportive group of people. When I started my show, while we're here, I'll just say it. When I started my show, less than maybe 2 hours after our first episode came out, Eric had messaged me.
That's awesome.
Giving me positive encouragement, saying he was, and I wasn't too familiar with exactly how, it's Eric Norton. Didn't know that at the time, but it's a very supportive group of people, and we all have different shows. They're all very, it's covering the same hobby, but it's a big hobby.
It is.
And like you said, they're all different. I think they're all great. But that's why, like you said, start a show. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you want to, take a chance and do it. I mean,
100%. All you've got to do is turn on Gary Vee's YouTube channel for 15 minutes, and you're going to want to start a show and maybe a business too. So we were talking a little bit before we started rolling about you having a son,
Yep.
4-year-old.
Yep.
Hope you don't mind me talking about this.
Bring it on.
Okay, and I have a son as well, and so your son is interested in cards. He's
Yes.
4.
Yes.
And so how did you get him, and I don't know, maybe he just naturally became interested in cards, but how did he become interested in cards and not just video games?
Right, yeah. Well, it's still hard to pry him away from the tablet.
Right,
it's
for
very, very hard. He really doesn't have much of a choice. Cards are all over the house. He sees them all the time. He sees Dad take good care of them.
Yeah.
And he learned at a very young age there's a spot where there's some cards that we stay away from.
Sure.
Luckily,
Yeah.
he listened
Oh, good.
up to now.
Okay.
He's starting to not, so we'll see. But up until now, he's listened. But he started being really, I'm big into chrome and refractors. I think maybe the shiny, the different colors maybe started to get him a little bit.
Got it. But he picked up on, hey, this is a little bit different. This might be special.
Yeah, and then when he started playing soccer and t-ball, and we would get the photos with him on the cards,
Oh, heck yeah.
that sold.
I love it. I love it.
Just like when he was on the Cubs this year, he learned "Go Cubs Go." I mean, sing it after every game, win or lose. He just picked up on it and went with it.
That is so cool. I appreciate that advice. We've got a little one at home, and I'm praying that he ends up showing some sort of interest in cards, just so I have someone to collect with and someone to pass something along one day. So speaking of, man, I am a product of the 80s, and I love the
Same
80s. I have some 89 Upper Deck here.
Hey, nice.
And I thought this would be a fun product for us to open.
Absolutely.
It's our wheelhouse.
Yep. I grew up on this stuff, man.
And okay, so when Upper Deck came out, 89 Upper Deck came out, where were you purchasing that product?
Well, it was probably a couple of years later. I was born in 84, so it was probably like 91 or 92. But as you know, even in 91 or 92, this was one of the products to have if you could find it.
Absolutely.
I was really lucky, and we had a really good LCS down in Florida that I would go to. And then when I'd visit my dad in North Carolina, we had an even better one up there.
Awesome.
And so I didn't really get to go to too many shows as a kid, but I was very well known at the LCS nearby.
Oh, yeah.
Very well known. And
were you the kid bringing in allowance money at the end of the week?
Yes.
Same here. Same here.
Oh, yes. A couple of them let me have IOUs for a little while. We were in normal in there. Yeah,
That's
we were
great.
regular.
Great. You had a tab at the card shop.
Yeah, I was about 7 or 8 years old. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but you know.
Hey, that's a cool shop owner. I gotta tell you what. And good for him or her for encouraging the hobby.
Right.
Well, let's crack this open and see what we can find here, man. Good luck to you, sir. I hope you pull the Griffin Rookie. That'd be fun.
Would be.
So
it's been a long time since I opened up one of these.
It was a special set. This was such a game changer when it came out.
It was. This was really the start of that big explosion.
So I opened some packs yesterday with Chris Carlin from Upper Deck, and we opened 89.
Awesome.
And I was like, what? So why are these, flipped all around always in the pack? Because I remember that. I was like, it kind of drove me crazy because I was trying to sort them and complete sets. And he said it is the random collation of the cards that flip them in all those different ways.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Huh. I wonder if that's why Topps still can't get them to this day. In one straight line.
That's a good question. Fair question. All right, man. I am not doing well in this first pack.
No, me neither.
Go ahead and please, by all means.
Sure. We'll see.
Anything noteworthy in that first one? I think Chris Brown was the best card.
I mean,
not good.
Eckersley. Nah.
Now, if you pull ink, something went horribly well.
Yeah, horribly well. But I think it's really fun opening a product that you're not chasing the normal stuff. I'm somebody that maybe it's a product that when we grew up, I don't know, but I don't have to have an autograph on everything for it to be fun. I don't need a jersey swatch and everything. Just some nice cards is fun.
I am 100% with you there.
Yes.
I'm kind of a base card nerd.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that just comes from collecting sets that did not have inserts.
Yeah.
Being a set builder, like we were, okay, so is this the reverse negative or the regular? Do you know?
Do not know.
I don't know either. So we got the Dale Murphy. Everybody knows there is a very famous reverse negative Dale Murphy in this set. I can't even tell you. Hopefully we can do a side-by-side on this and we can know in post whether that's the reverse negative or not.
Cal Ripken.
That good? Okay.
Trying to even remember who all of the ones to be looking for in this set were.
Who are these characters?
I know. Some of them I'm remembering the names, but it seems like for the first time here.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
All right, I'm on my last pack here, Drew. I'm not doing very well.
Me neither. I'll speed up though.
What, as a collector, not just a hobby personality, is there something you're looking for at the show today?
Well, yeah, I have a couple of very unique PCs. One of them being Bryce Williams. He was a former East Carolina Pirate, which is where I went to college.
Okay, very cool.
He's become a good friend of mine since he graduated. And,
no kidding.
He played with the Patriots for a year, and then now he's done. But I collect all of his stuff, so I've got about 6 or 7 low-numbered cards left where I have them all.
Really?
Yeah.
You've cornered the market.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a player that's mostly in common boxes, probably, but you know.
But that's what collecting is all about.
Exactly.
It's not always going after the biggest name. It's going after the people you enjoy.
Exactly.
Right? Speaking of people I enjoyed, especially in '89, the Greg Jeffries. This is considered like the upper deck rookie, but most of his rookies are in '88, I believe. 88 Donruss, 88 Fleer.
Yep.
That's cool, but it's got the rookie insignia on this. So I heard Greg Jeffries was at the National last year signing, and everyone said he was a super nice dude. Yeah. Did you hear that saying?
Yeah. Yep, I did. All right, I'll open up the last one. Maybe it'll.
Hey, you got the Griffey in there.
Yeah.
This can happen. We can still have. Oh, I see. That top card's nice.
It is. Wow.
Let's show that one.
Yeah. Nice Nolan Ryan.
I can't remember what Chris called that, but it's like it's not 3D, but there's some cool name behind that particular card.
No, I'm trying to think of what they would call that. Lido Perez.
Mr. Griffey, we need you to make an appearance. I thought for sure we had the Griffey in these.
I did too.
Or at least a Gary Sheffield, right?
Yeah, right? Chuck Krim.
Okay, so
Ozzy.
For somebody coming to the National for the first time, because I've still met a lot of hobby folks who've been in the hobby forever, but this is their first National, what is one piece of awesome advice you could give them? Because this can be overwhelming.
It can be. Last year was my first year, and it was an absolute culture shock.
Last year was your first year. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It was the first year I'd been to the National, and I was working it too. And it was funny. I talked to Eric before. I told him my plans. He's like, "You should probably think about that and scale it back a little bit." I thought, I know what I'm talking about. My fault. So we scaled it back this year. But I mean, if you're coming, I would say definitely take a look at the map beforehand.
That's a good idea.
If there's something you're looking for, look at the map, find those dealers. A lot of them are on Facebook. You can find some like singles club I know was promoting what they were having like crazy.
Yeah.
I knew rows of what they had just by what they were showing.
No kidding. Okay, so you'd already kind of done some pre-production on that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because if you don't, unless you're coming all these days and you have time to just go to every single booth and spend an hour there, you won't get through half of it.
For sure.
You got to come in with a plan.
Plan of attack. That is a great piece of advice. Drew, thank you very much for your time, man. It was great meeting you in person.
Absolutely.
Guys, go ahead and plug everything. I know you got a lot for people to consume out there.
Yeah. Guys, definitely check out the show. It's Lemme Get That Podagraph. You can check it out on pretty much anywhere podcasts are on, Podbean, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. We're on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at LGTP Podcast. And check it out. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up this year. Made a couple of new things at the National that we've got in the works. So
cool.
It's going to be a fun rest of the year.
Love it. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out another episode. Make sure to subscribe to PackGeek on YouTube. Also check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks.
PackGeek.